The diamond in that little black box could pay his rent for 3 years. Marcus Carter stood frozen in his tiny kitchen, a spatula in one hand, eggs burning in the pan. On one knee in front of him was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. Her red dress was perfect. Her hair was perfect. Her shoes looked like they had never touched dirt. "Marcus, will you marry me?" she said. His mouth went dry. 3 days ago, he didn't even know her last name. He knew her as Eve, the quiet volunteer at his daughter's after-school reading club. Now she was kneeling on his cracked linoleum like this was a movie. "Daddy, don't say yes," a small voice said from the doorway. His 8-year-old daughter, Sophia, stood there with her pink backpack hanging off one shoulder. Her eyes were wide, but not surprised. She stared at the woman and then at the ring. "Tell her you know," Sophia whispered. Marcus's heart pounded. The smoke alarm beeped from the burning eggs. "Baby, go to your room," he said softly. "No," Sophia said. "She's the lady from the wall. At school." Marcus looked at Eve. Evelyn. Whatever her name was. He was a 34-year-old janitor. A single dad. He worked nights cleaning the floors of Sterling Tower downtown. He woke up at 5 every morning to make Sophia's lunch. He had failed too many times. Sophia's mom had left when Sophia was 3. Cancer took his own mother last year. He was behind on rent. The super already taped a pink notice to his door. His daughter was his whole world. He would mop 100 floors, wash 1,000 toilets, if it meant she had books and a safe bed. And now a stranger wanted a husband. Not for love. For business. His chest felt tight. He didn't trust rich people. Rich people made promises and then lawyers called. He didn't get marriage proposals from billionaires. Because that's what his friend had told him last night. "Man, that Eve girl? That's Evelyn Sterling. Sterling Tech. She's worth $2 billion. He had laughed. It had to be a joke. It wasn't a joke. "Why are you doing this?" Marcus asked, his voice low. Evelyn looked up at him, and for the first time, her perfect eyes filled with tears. "Because I have 48 hours before I lose everything. And you're the only honest man I know." Sophia stepped closer. She tugged on his shirt. "Daddy, she's been lying," she said. "But she's also the nice one. I know her secret." But when Sophia said she knew a secret, his blood ran cold. 2 weeks earlier, the reading club at Jefferson Elementary smelled like old books and crayons. Marcus was late. Again. He rushed in, his janitor uniform still damp from mopping, to find Sophia sitting alone at a tiny table. Next to her was a woman in a faded hoodie and glasses. No makeup. Hair tied up. "You must be Sophia's dad," she said, smiling. "I'm Eve. I volunteer on Tuesdays." Marcus felt his shoulders relax. "Sorry." Shift ran over. Sophia beamed. "Eve helped me read the whole chapter. She does the voices." Eve laughed. It was a real laugh. Not polite. "I'm not great at voices," she said. "But your daughter is a genius." For the next hour, Marcus watched. Eve didn't look at her phone once. She listened to Sophia read. She clapped when Sophia got a hard word right. That was rare. Over the next 10 days, Eve kept showing up. She brought Sophia extra books. Thick ones with dragons. Marcus brought her coffee from the gas station. Black, no sugar. That's how she liked it. One rainy Thursday, he found her in the parking lot, hood up, staring at her car. Dead battery, she muttered. Marcus didn't think. He popped his own old tools from his trunk. Hold the flashlight, he said. She held it. Rain dripped down both of them. You don't have to, she said. I know, he said. When the engine roared, she looked at him like he was magic. Where did you learn that? She asked. YouTube. And being broke. She laughed so hard she snorted. Later, she helped him fold laundry in the school's family room while Sophia did homework. She talked about growing up with a strict father who only cared about success. She said she worked at a non-profit. She never mentioned money. Marcus talked about Sophia's mom leaving. About learning to braid hair from YouTube. You're a good dad, she whispered. You don't know me, he said. I know enough, she said. For a second, their hands brushed over a pile of Sophia's shirts. His heart jumped. He started to look forward to Tuesdays. Sophia started drawing pictures of the three of them holding hands. She left one on Marcus's pillow. He thought maybe, just maybe, he could trust a woman again. It felt dangerous and warm at the same time. Then on Friday, the principal called him in. Lease papers for the school's summer program. On her desk was a magazine. Forbes. Cover story, Evelyn Sterling, 31, tech's youngest female billionaire to take Sterling public. Marcus stared at the face on the cover. Same eyes. Same smile. No glasses. His blood went cold. Eve was Evelyn Sterling. Marcus found her by the swings after the kids left. You lied to me, he said. His voice shook. Evelyn wasn't wearing the hoodie now. She wore a black blazer. She looked like the magazine. I didn't mean to, she said. I just wanted one place where nobody knew my bank account. You let my daughter love you. You let me, he stopped. He couldn't say it. Evelyn stepped closer. Tears again. My grandfather built Sterling from nothing. When he died, he left a clause. If I'm not married and settled by 32, the board can vote me out. Richard Crane wants to sell the company for parts. 5,000 jobs will vanish. So you need a fake husband, Marcus said, bitter. Any honest idiot will do. No, she said quickly. I need someone I can trust. I watched you for weeks. You give away your lunch. You stay late to help the custodian who has arthritis. You are who you pretend to be. Marcus laughed, but it hurt. I'm a janitor about to be evicted, lady. I don't play rich people games. He walked away. Sophia was quiet in the car. She kept looking back at Evelyn standing alone. The next morning, his supervisor at Sterling Tower called him into a closet office. Marcus was fired. Corporate says you harassed an executive, the man mumbled, not looking him in the eye. Richard Crane. He said you demanded money. Marcus felt the floor drop. What? I never? Just go, the supervisor said. At home, a pink eviction notice was taped over the old one. 2 weeks to pay or leave. His savings had $200. Sophia asked if Eve hated them now. Marcus had no answer. He made her mac and cheese with water because milk ran out. Then his phone rang. Unknown number. Mr. Carter? This is Richard Crane's office. We can make this easy. $50,000 if you sign a paper saying you tricked Miss Sterling. Say you chased her. Then disappear. Marcus gripped the phone so hard his knuckles turned white. And if I don't? Then you'll never work in this city again. We'll make sure CPS looks at your little girl's living situation. He wanted to scream. He wanted to punch a wall. Instead, he tucked Sophia's blanket tighter. A father's job is to stay calm when the world burns. That night, Sophia coughed. The apartment was cold. The heater broke again. Evelyn texted, "Please. Let me explain. Meet me." Marcus stared at his daughter sleeping on the couch in 3 blankets. He deleted the text. The next morning, 2 men in suits knocked on his door. They held a folder. Sophia hid behind his leg. She whispered, "Daddy, that's the lady's secret. I told you. Mr. Carter, you're being sued for extortion and defamation." And in that folder was a photo of him and Evelyn in the parking lot, circled in red. Like he was a criminal. Marcus didn't sign. He crumpled the lawsuit paper. Sophia pulled a showbox from under her bed. Inside, hundreds of little star stickers, a necklace with a tiny silver book. "Look," she said, dumping it. Old letters, no return address. Books from the library fairy. For 3 years, books arrived every month. Same with a check that paid her ER bill when she was 4. "Eve is the fairy," Sophia said. "She wears the same necklace. I saw it in the library. Same star." Marcus stared at the necklace. A silver book with a tiny star. He had seen it on Eve's neck that rainy night. The door knocked again. Not suits. Evelyn. No blazer. Hoodie again. Eyes red. "Please don't leave," she said to Sophia first, then Marcus. "Richard forged that lawsuit. I didn't know. I fired him this morning. You watched my girl go without while you have billions." Marcus said, anger cracking. "No," Evelyn said and sank to floor. "I was 5 when my mom left. My dad worked 3 jobs. I swore if I ever had money, I'd be the fairy I wished I had. I sent books to 10 schools. Sophia's letter made me cry. She wrote, 'Can fairies bring daddy's coffee so he stops being tired?' I came to see who wrote that." Sophia ran and hugged her. Evelyn looked at Marcus. "I asked you to marry me because Richard moved the board vote up. I panicked. I need 60 days. But I also," she swallowed. "I fell in love with your Tuesdays. With how you braid her hair wrong and she still says it's perfect." Marcus's hands shook. "I have a board meeting in 1 hour," Evelyn said. "They can have the company. I'm done lying. But if you come, if you say you knew me as Eve, it proves I built something real outside that tower. That I am settled. Stable. Not because of a contract. Because of family." Marcus looked at Sophia. At the eviction notice. At the showbox of kindness. He made a decision. An hour later, they walked into Sterling Tower's glass boardroom. 12 men in suits stared. Richard smirked. "Miss Sterling, is this your desperate groom?" Richard said. Marcus stepped forward, Sophia's hand in his. "No," Marcus said clearly. "I'm the man who fixed her car in the rain for free. I'm the janitor you fired yesterday. And this is my daughter, who you threatened. And we are here because Evelyn Sterling taught my daughter to read better before she knew we had anything to give her. Evelyn took his hand. She pulled the necklace off. This is who I am, she told the board. I don't want a company that fires good men to protect bad ones. The room went silent. Then the oldest board member, Mr. Grant, stood up. He had known Evelyn since she was a child. Richard's face turned white. His hands shook. Security was already walking in, but this time for him. Evelyn looked at Marcus, terrified. Would he still say yes after everything? 3 months later, the same little kitchen smelled like pancakes. Marcus stood in the same spot where Evelyn had knelt. But now he was the one on one knee. Sophia wore a yellow dress and held the same little black box, giggling. Eve, Evelyn Sterling, Marcus said, his voice thick. Will you marry me? For real this time. No 48 hours. No board. Just us. Evelyn wore jeans and a hoodie. No red dress. Her eyes filled again, but this time not from fear. She whispered, yes. Sophia screamed and jumped. Later, they sat on the floor eating pancakes because the table was too small for 3 plates. Sunlight came through the same cracked window. The eviction notice was gone. In its place, a drawing Sophia made, 3 stick figures, 1 big house. Sterling Tech didn't sell. The board voted to keep Evelyn, and to keep the jobs. Richard was out. Marcus didn't go back to janitor work. Evelyn asked him to run the Sterling Community Library Fund. He said yes, but only if Sophia was boss. Deal, Evelyn said. Sophia looked up with syrup on her chin. Does this mean the library fairy lives with us now? Evelyn laughed and wiped her chin. If the fairy is very lucky, she said. Evelyn had bought a bigger apartment, but Marcus said no. He wanted Sophia to stay near her school. So Evelyn moved into their building. Top floor, same leaky pipes. She said she slept better there than in her penthouse. Sophia showed Evelyn how to braid properly. Evelyn showed Sophia how to code a tiny robot that beeped. Marcus watched them, his 2 favorite girls, and finally felt like he wasn't failing anymore. Marcus looked at Evelyn. This woman had billions, but she chose Tuesdays in a small school. She chose burnt eggs and cold apartments. She chose them. You know, Marcus said softly, when you asked me to marry you that first time, I thought it was crazy. It was crazy, Evelyn said. You were right about one thing, he said. You said I was the only honest man you knew. You were the only honest woman I knew. Even when you lied about your name. Evelyn leaned her head on his shoulder. I learned something, she said. Money can buy towers. But it can't buy someone who holds the flashlight in the rain. He realized love doesn't need perfect timing. It just needs someone willing to kneel on a cracked floor and someone brave enough to say yes for real. Sophia raised her hand. Lesson time. My teacher says lesson. Marcus and Evelyn laughed. Sophia said, very serious, family isn't about rich or poor. It's about who shows up. Marcus felt his throat tighten. Outside, the city kept moving. But in that tiny kitchen, everything they needed was right there. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.